Hi, this week's Torah portion is Tzav. It's Leviticus chapter 6 through 8. This Shabbat is also very special because it's called Shabbat HaGadol. Every year, the Shabbat immediately preceding the beginning of Passover, which this year is Wednesday evening, April 8th, is called Shabbat HaGadol, the Great Shabbat. Why? Because in Exodus chapter 12, God commands the Jewish people to take a lamb and to bring it on the 10th day of the month of Nisan, the Hebrew month that we're in now, and to take it to their home. And on the evening of the 14th, moving into the 15th, which is when we celebrate Passover, they're supposed to slaughter that lamb, and that would be dinner and also an offering to God. So there's a commentary that says that while the Jews are walking through the streets on the 10th of the month and taking their lamb home, that Egyptians would confront them and say, "Hey, what are you doing with our gods?" The Egyptians worshipped lambs and goats, and so they're stunned. And remember, the Jewish people are on enemy turf here. They're slaves, and they're walking through the streets. And they responded. I'm paraphrasing here. When the Egyptians asked, "Hey, what are you doing with our gods?" the Jewish people would say something like, "Oh, we're going to have them for dinner in a few nights." Obviously, I'm paraphrasing. They would say something like, "We're going to sacrifice these false gods that you worship and offer it up to the real God." And at that moment, when the Egyptians were furious, they were stunned in a way, miraculously, that they couldn't respond. And that's one of the interpretations why it's called the Shabbat HaGadol, because of the miracle that God worked, that the Jewish people were safe even in doing what they were doing. And this is really big, because Jewish people, in fact, were putting their Jewish identity and their lives on the line to express this commitment to being Jewish. And some say, in fact, that one of the reasons that the Jewish people earned the right to be freed, that they merited the right to be freed, was because of this expression of Jewish pride and Jewish faith, and the courage they exhibited. So, may we have a great week, and may we be inspired by the courage of our ancestors way back then. May we start getting more and more psyched for Passover. May we be invigorated by spring that's coming around. And may we all have a great week.